Hello everybody and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4 with the Equestria at War mod. For those of you joining me for the first time ever, my name is Sabouts, and if you're returning to my channel for another series, I'd like to welcome you back. And I've already played Equestria at War on my channel a couple times. I've played the Dread League, and I did a playthrough as the Crystal Empire going the King Sombra route. And for that one, I actually had you guys vote on what you wanted me to see. And that's what you guys selected, and so then I had you guys do another vote, and you guys decided to do the Kingdom of Olenia, which is going to be really, really interesting for a lot of reasons that I'll get into as we jump into the game. Now, for those of you who've never seen this mod before, it is called Equestria at War. It is a mod for Hearts of Iron 4. Basically, if you're familiar with the universe or the fan fiction of like My Little Pony, that's kind of where it comes from. But don't let that discourage you from actually what this mod is. This mod is amazing. It is a complete overhaul and conversion mod for Hearts of Iron 4. It is probably, I'd put it up there right with mods like Kaiserreich. I mean, it is literally a complete conversion mod. I'm pretty sure it's the only mod that actually has like an entirely different map that you play on. So there's a lot here. If this all kind of creeps you out or whatever, you think this is somehow this is turning you away, you're making a grave mistake. This mod is amazing. I've played a lot of hours of it. I've had a lot of fun. It's great. Don't let this like spoil your experience. It's crazy. It's fun. We're gonna have fun. So like I said, we're going to be playing as the Kingdom of Olenia. It starts in a really awkward situation. And let me show you what that's like on the actual map. So here's the Kingdom of Olenia. We've got here the main area. We've got Griffonia over here. Now, here's the Crystal Empire, who I've played as. And the Dread League up in this corner as I played as. The Kingdom of Olenia starts off, so there's sort of like a merchant slash trade empire. They mainly just focus on merchant and trade. They start next to the Changelings. The Changelings are very aggressive. They're like a fascist faction. And the Changelings have a lot of like inner fighting going on. But as of recently, that inner fighting has stopped, and the Changelings have basically they've formed together into like one giant tribe, and they're gaining a lot of power. And they're starting to advance very rapidly with technology and their military and industrialization and stuff like that. Now we do share a little bit of a border here with Equestria, and that's going to come in handy for later on. There's a river crossing there. It's going to be extremely important. It's also going to be important to note that we've got a little bit of a river here, but most importantly, Kingdom of Olenia has something a lot of nations don't have, and that is a nice mountainous border. We got a lot of mountains here all through this area. Got like a little bit of a northern mountain range coming up over here. So we're going to need to utilize a lot of this to our advantage. It's going to be extremely important. Our capital down here in the tip of this peninsula, that's going to play a vital role as well as our in our quest to hopefully defend ourselves from the Changelings. So let's go ahead and start and actually take a look at the Kingdom of Olenia in the game. Alright, so King Johann, the devil, the illegitimate son of King Aldar, seized power upon the death of his father. His sister, the rightful Queen Velvet, has fled to Equestria, and through intimidation and greed, the Jarls and Dukes of Olenia have sworn themselves loyal to him. But all is not well for King Johann. The commandeers suffer under his tyrannical laws, and dissent is rising. Protests have broken out across the kingdom in the recent months, with Deer demanding for Johann's abdiction. They have been swiftly and brutally crushed by those loyal to Johann and his paychecks. But Olenia's problems are not just internal. To the north, the Changelings look towards Olenia's resource-rich mountains with greedy eyes, and to the east, Queen Velvet is befriending the Canterlot nobility and working to raise equestrian support for an intervention against King Johann. With these threats, the powerful and fanatical Jurva, the newly appointed head of the Olenian Church, is rallying support for a more militaristic solution to the threats against the nation. He desires to see Olenia return to his twisted vision of the old days where the sight of Olenian longships struck fear into anyone who laid eyes on them. Of course, the populace may finally rise up and throw their support behind either Queen Velvet or the Sorola's Socialist Deers Party and overthrow the king and his lackeys, bringing forth a new future for Olenia, a future they will have to defend from their neighbors in the north. Olenia is on a knife edge. It will take great skill and cunning to see it survive. Their first order of business should be to deal with the rising dissent, one and for all. Next, the rampant corruption must be stamped out if Olenia is to build up its military might to survive against the changelings and equestrian threats. Olenia knows its mountainous home well, and a strong defensive position, and surely withstand any bug or pony attack. So that is very correct here. The Kingdom of Olenia has a lot of issues, which is why you guys probably voted for me to play it, because you love watching me try to solve problems and deal with issues. So basically, the changelings are going to go to war with us, and we've only got about a little less than 2 years before they declare war. That means we've got about 600 days, give or take, to build up and defend our borders from changeling aggression, as well as build up defenses here on the peninsula, which you'll see why when the war does begin, and I'll explain as we go through. This is our capital city here, Hortland, I'm going to call it. I'm going to butcher some of these names here, so you're just going to have to sit there and live with it. Now, as of right now, we do have King Johann here. He's a real piece of trash. The illegitimate king, he should not be on the throne. We have a corrupt government currently and raising dissent, so things are really bad. We cannot live with these here, okay? These are not good. Okay, Kingdom of Olenia does have a couple things that do help us, though. We've got a general here with a division defense of 15%. It is a must grab for us. Division recovery recruit is pretty good as well as the armor, but the army defense must grab. So we've got to get him. What else do we got here? Artillery attack and defense, naval, ace generation chance, and division attrition. So army logistics also really well. The Kingdom of Olenia here, or Olenia, really has a strong advantage with mountain troops, especially in the mountainous regions here up north. We actually do have some mountain divisions, you can see, up here in the far north, as well as one in the south. So these will be very crucial in fighting back the changelings when the time comes. One thing we definitely don't have is we don't have good infrastructure. Our infrastructure is a mess. Our war economy is a mess. All of it's got to be cleaned up. The next thing, national focus. So there's a couple different things here. We've obviously got oppose the king, crush the resistance, and industrial incentives, and the state of the army, state of the navy, and the sad state of the air force. Boy, so none of these are really worth doing. Obviously, we got to get the situation stabilized, so it's going to first start with crush the resistance. At that point, we have a couple of different, or no, I'm sorry, we've got oppose the king or crush the resistance. At that point, we got a couple other places to go. It's kind of tough. So we got a communist tree. We can go fascist. I will say that what's probably going to help us the most in this situation is probably going to be restoring the true queen, which is getting Queen Velvet in here. And the reason for that is because Queen Velvet actually has a lot of ties with Equestria. And Equestria is the big brother in the neighborhood. So if we can get an alliance with Equestria, we could potentially get some aid in fighting the changelings. I'm just going to turn the music down a little bit. So that's going to be our goal. We're going to go the Queen Velvet route. So let's go with oppose the king first. This is going to probably cast us into a civil war, so we do got to be mindful of that. It's going to severely weaken us, which is the last thing we really need when facing changeling aggression, but we don't really have much of a choice. Let's go ahead and grab the M107. We'll start researching that immediately. Oh, that's also not a bad idea. but this is going to sound a little bit crazy, and bear with me. We're going to grab engineering companies because it'd be great to have the defensive ability. But we're also going to go ahead and grab tanks, because I think that this is going to help us a lot with fighting the changelings. And I got to decide if I want to go light or heavy. I've thought the tank thing through already, but I haven't thought through the light or heavy portion. I think I'm going to go heavy. They're a little slower, but I think it'll help. We got some civilian factories. We could go ahead and build a few things here. Infrastructure-wise, not too good. We do have some trade goods, which is nice. We actually have a lot of really valuable trade goods. And we can put some military factories up as well. I'd like to get some more military factories up down here. This is about the safest place to put them, so let's just get 3 of those queued up. We've got 13 civilian factories. They'll start pounding away at that. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and start getting some more equipment. Actually, how are we looking so far? So we start with 5.8 thousand infantry equipment. Okay, good to know. And obviously convoys. So what am I not making? Towed artillery, support equipment. Give me that. Towed artillery, towed anti-tank, not as important right now. Obviously, just keep the convoys coming until... Well, I could build something else. Destroyers, maybe? Sure. Why not? Okay, perfect. No divisions basic training. We probably should go ahead and do that. Do I want to get some more mountain divisions? We've got some troops here. What are they? Just 4 with a little bit of recon. What do we got for just this? Support artillery. That's probably what I would say anyways. Alright, we're not going to use all of these. And we're sure not going to use this. We will keep the mountain. For now, it's got a combat width of 14. I'd like to see that get to 20. Combat width of 12. I'd also like to see this get to 20. And eventually we're going to add the support companies. Let's go ahead and train. How much pony power we got? 47,000. We'll train 2 divisions, or at least get them started. We'll just throw them in Winterfell for now. Sounds good. And we've got unassigned divisions. So let's go ahead and get everybody assigned here. All the mountain divisions I want in the same army. And we'll give them a general. Let's go with somebody that will help boost them. We do got some good generals. Kingdom of Olenia's got some great generals, actually. Ooh, max entrenchment. Defensive doctrine. Infantry defense. That's a good leader. Planning speed, though. Chance to get wounded. Cautious. Winter attrition and movement. Division attrition. Experienced soldier loss. Leader experience gain, defense logistics, armor speed, attacking, plus a new trait available, armor speed. Then we got politically connected. This could be... See, we got you're actually a field marshal here. So that'll be good, though. Winter attrition, mountain, right there, mountaineer. Movement, attack, defense. Perfect. So we're going to get a couple more of those trained up as well. Meanwhile, the rest of the army here... let's go ahead and grab them. We'll throw them under you. Let's get a field marshal. We'll throw them all under Field Marshal Carl Gustav. He's He's got a nice defensive doctrine with a max entrenchment plus a logistics wizard's pretty nice. And he can grab something else. Organization, reinforce rate, charismatic. Oh, both of these are great. But let's get the division recovery rate. I like charismatic. It's a nice one. Oh, we can't get it yet. Duh. Well, we'll get there eventually. Select them. All right. Let's have the Mountaineers do their thing in the mountains. I don't need to worry about defending up there. If the changelings, or when the changelings attack, we're not going to have to do anything with this up here. It's just not going to be applicable. And I'm going to give these guys their own orders for now. I'm not going to worry about the field marshal. We shouldn't get attacked for a while anyways. So, I'm just not worried about it. The mountains are here, so let's give them, you know, some type of front line like this. Meanwhile, I'd like you to just have a straight up front line across here. It's like I said, none of this is going to matter because we're going to have a civil war here soon anyway. So all of this is going to be, you know, back to square one very soon. All right, so there's been a lot of changes. One of the changes being that, yeah, been a lot of updates to Equestria at War. One of the big updates is that we are now actually ponies instead of people, which is amazing. I mean, this mod's amazing. Look at this. So now we got ponies. Everybody's got ponies. It's way better than seeing like humans walking across the map because that never made any sense. But yeah, totally rocking some ponies now. Well, the Kingdom of Olenia is technically deer. We're not ponies, but that's alright. I can forgive it. Your country has no other race, just deer. Outdated industrial sector, developed science base. Well, that's nice. At least it's not like the Dread League. So, oh, there's also been a lot of changes because of the Man the Guns DLC that came out for Hearts of Iron 4. So I'm not as familiar with all of the changes, so you're going to have to forgive me as I kind of stumble through them. I know a lot of it was naval changes. So I haven't played since it came out. I was actually waiting for Equestria at War to update completely before it dropped. So that's just kind of been where I've been at. So rubber's the only thing we don't have. Let me guess though, the changelings have rubber. They sure do. They don't have a lot of it though. Equestria's got rubber, but Equestria is like the United States. They've got everything. Chromium, rubber, oil, crystals. Oh, the Crystal Empire, they've got everything but rubber. I do know that because I've played them. So, coup attempt in Lake City. Okay, it's nothing to do with us. How is the rest of the world looking? Not going to be a whole lot going on right now. Just too early in the game, but we'll be able to watch all this and see what happens. And I believe they are working on another continent. You can see when you zoom out, there's actually room. There's plenty of room for more continents. And I do believe that they are working on it. I think they've actually released a picture on it. Military training. Army experience plus 10. Oh, there we go, though. We've got to oppose the king. The Emperor is dead. That's the Griffonian Empire. Nothing to do with us. Alright. So, is an illegitimate tyrant. He has no right to rule Olenia. Higher-ups in the military and government, along with the commandeer, are sparking protests against his rule. So now we can go with the Great Strike. Takes us out the communist path. Or we go with the true king. Or, I'm sorry, the true queen. And, we start trying to put Queen Velvet in charge. Change in popularity of Harmony, 10%. Replace Rising Descent with Harmonic Descent. Daily political power cost. And we get some stability. Velvet, the only child of King Eldair, is the rightful ruler of Olenia. She is known for her kindness and charity work throughout the kingdom. While she is currently exiled to Equestria, a group of supporters are planning for her return. So that's only going to take 10 days. We'll start that. So like I said, the reason I'm going this route is because by putting her in the throne, we should be able to guarantee ourselves some type of alliance with Equestria. And that's going to be really, really important to fight in the Changelings. Alright, convince the office rare. Change the popularity of Harmony 5%, Pony Power minus 500. Planned sabotage. Alright. And we start sabotaging factories. Pony Power minus 1,000. The Seers will support your rightful claim to the throne, however you will be in their debt. Change popularity, Pony Power minus 1,000. Lord Rusho stops being a general. Lord Rusho, I'm using him, ain't I? Yeah, he's a really good Mountaineer general. I don't want to lose him. So we'll take the other route. We don't want to destroy infrastructure anyways. I don't want to have to rebuild it. Alright. Piccolini becomes Prime Minister. People declaring war all over the place. Now, Equestria at war has a lot of war. Harmonic Dissident, daily political power, factory output. Whew. Alright, nice. So we're just going to fly right through these. Oh, I should be reading these. I apologize. I'm going to try to read these. The army only fights for Johan out of fear, but by persuading the enlisted officers, they'll push the common soldiers as well to support Velvet's cause. The Olenia Church has been sidelined for a while, but they still hold great sway over the commandeer. If we were to convince them to openly denounce Johan and his lackeys, our goal would proceed much smoother. However, the Seers are certain to request a favor in return. Well, hopefully it's nothing too crazy. No, there's nothing. At this point, it's really just letting our economy and everything go to crap while as we attempt to build ourselves up. So, charismatic. Grab that up. Nobody else here had any. Oh, yeah, you do too. Ambusher, infantry expert, infantry division attack. Max entrenchment, recon bonus while entrenched. I'm going to go for the attack. Winter expert or adaptable, cold acclimation, hot acclimation, terrain penalty reduction, cold acclimation. Let's get the adaptable. It's kind of good across all fronts. It'll help us in our situation. The mountains are cold, so this kind of gives us an advantage all over here for fighting the changelings. Alright, we got the Seers support. Velvet's return. Oh, can we do these as well? Oh, we have to, don't we? We have to do them all. Oh, so we don't get a choice. My bad. I apologize. Earlier I said I didn't want to do those, and I have to do them anyways. It's all part of the plan. Friendship games. Quaint, but not of our concern. Alright. Oh, division's built up here. And we finish our research. And we've got civil war breaking out in other places. Oh, no. Sorry. Alright, so let's go for this. Outdated production. We'll go ahead and update this. Low pony power. 41,000 is not bad. I can live with those numbers. I can live with 41,000. Planned sabotage. Alright, we're going to lose that really cool general, so I'll just have to get another one. Really sucks. I liked him. We can just get another Mountaineer. Alright, Velvet's return. There is a small percentage chance, I believe it's 10%, that the Civil War doesn't break out, but I can assure you, the Civil War is going to break out. Alright, we'll give you... Eventually you can maybe work your way down or something, we'll figure it out. Summer Sun Celebration. Alright, nice. So we've got our tanks, which we're probably not really in a position anyways to be building, but they're there now when we need them. Let's go ahead and get basic machine tools. We also got... Oh, what else were we going for? The support companies. That's going to be really important. Engineer companies. We're going to want to go ahead and get those built ASAP. Meanwhile, we could go for an artillery upgrade. We can start going for some doctrines here. Mass assault doctrine. Grand battle fantasy. I kind of like the mass assault. Mobile warfare is nice too, but this will give us a bunch of bonuses. Max entrenchment, division attrition, infantry recovery rate, organization, breakthrough. I especially like this, reinforce rate, minimum training level. Let's go, yeah, let's do it. Why not? That's different. That'll be cool. Anything that gets our pony power up, right? It's volunteer only right now. Eventually we'll end up upping a lot of this. How much fuel do we have in the nation? Oh, we've got a decent amount, and it's all in the back, so that's nice. And Velvet's return. Princess Velvet returns to Olenia. Princess Velvet crossed the river Sakara this morning along with a procession of cheering supporters. Police were reluctant to intervene and arrest the princess. Meanwhile, a coalition of Velvet supporters, including the military and police, presented an ultimatum to King Johan. He has 24 hours to abdict or he will be arrested. Now we wait for King Johan's response. This is going to decide whether or not he steps down or we break out into civil war, but I guess we'll have to find out in the next one what his decision is. So that Kingdom of Olenia, we've got a long road ahead of us. You want to buckle your seatbelt. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you'll get notifications for when new episodes of this series drop. I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time.